name is Dami, and today I'm going to be showing you how to transform those ugly, dingy sweaters in your closet. For a while now, I've had a lot of sweaters in my closet that are pretty old, and I just don't know what to do with them, and I really don't want to get rid of them. I don't know why. So I'm going to show you guys how to transform those sweaters into something modern and classic, and you could actually wear all year round. For this project, we're only going to use a couple of things: a pair of good scissors, some pins, a tape measure, and the French curve, which is optional. I'm going to show you later in the video why you need the French curve and other things you could do in place of the French curve. So now I'm going to show you guys what the sweater looked like before its transformation.
So this is the way the sweater looked like before. I really like the black and white stripes at the top, so we're going to be keeping that. As you can see, the sweater is really big in the front and also really big at the back, so we're going to be trimming away all that extra fabric. So to get started, like I said, you need some pins, a tape measure, and a good pair of scissors. Now we're going to proceed to the bottom of the sweater. Usually in the sweater there's always a rib knit, which is the bottom of the sweater that is much tighter and it holds things in place. Now we're going to separate that from the actual sweater itself. You want to make sure to cut a little away from the rib knit itself. This is going to be your seam allowance where we're going to use to attach it back to the sweater later on in the video. So now we're going to the sleeve of the sweater. We're going to cut away the sleeves to make the sweater sleeveless. So you want to figure out a nice shape for your armhole to give that nice perfect sleeveless look. So we're going to be measuring about 3.5 inches from the top of the shoulder, and I'm just putting a pin right there because I don't want to have to mark it and wash the sweater later on. So this is where our French curve comes in handy. As you can see, the bottom of the sleeve is attached to this garment right there at that point. So I'm lowering mine about just the 3/4 of an inch, and I'm just following the curve of my French curve. If you don't have a French curve for this, you can just take one of your old t-shirts and trace out the curve. So now we're just going to cut away all that sleeve excess away, and that's your sleeveless. So to get it on the next side, you just want to fold the fabric right in half. Make sure that everything is matching up. As you can see, I have stripes at the top, so I'm making sure my stripes match up as well. And now I'm just going to cut that fabric away to match the previous sleeveless that we cut out before. Meanwhile, you want to already have figured out your waist measurement. We're going to be using our waist measurement to taper the sides of the sweater to fit us better. So my waist measurement is about 27 inches total. So I proceeded to measure the waist of my sweater, which is about 20.5 just in the front alone, and double of that is about 41 inches. So that's almost double of my waist measurement. So we want to reduce that to the 27 inches like I said before. So we're going to divide 27 divided by 2, which is 13.5. So our front is going to be 13.5. Now subtract the previous 20.5 from our new 13.5, and that's going to be 3.5. So we're going to take in our sides 3.5s on both sides. This is going to fit me just right. So you want to make sure to get your waist measurement so it fits you just right and not too loose and not too big. So measure the 3.5 also at the bottom of the sweater, and you want to taper that all the way to the armhole. I'm actually making my armhole measurement just a little less than the 3.5 at my waist. So I'm making mine about 2.5 inches, which is an inch less than the 3.5. You don't want your armhole to be too snug. You could always keep trying this on, and if it's too big, you could always make it a little tighter. But if it's too snug, you can't really do anything about that. So make sure you're just going about 1 inch from the actual waist measurement. So now we're going to be talking about the rib knit I spoke about earlier. So the rib knit is going to be attached to the bottom of the sweater. As you can see, the rib knit really stretches. So I want mine to be a little tighter at my waist. So I'm just coming in a 1/2 inch from the mark of the 3.5 from my sweater. So this is going to make my rib knit a little bit tighter at my waist because we're going to stretch it all the way at the edge. So my sweater is actually a little too long. So I'm trimming off about 3.5 inches from the bottom, and I'm going to cut that excess fabric away. So you can make yours a little less shorter if you want, something like a crop top or something, or you can make yours even longer depending on what you feel like, or If your sweater is not even long at all, then you don't even need to do this process. So I'm trimming off about 3.5 inches. And again, when you're cutting, you want to have seam allowance so we could actually attach the rib knit. So my seam allowance, as you can see, is about a ½ inch. And when you're done with that, you're pretty much done with the prep phase. So make sure to go back to make sure that everything is pinned nicely and everything actually matches up, so you don't make any mistakes when sewing the sweater. So now we're at the sewing machine. So you want to sew both sides of the seams down. And as you can see, I have my pin still in my fabric because I'm just going to use that as a guideline from my armhole all the way to the bottom of the sweater. Don't forget to also sew the second side of the sweater as well. And now we're just going to trim off all that extra fabric. You don't want it to be too bulky, so make sure to trim off all the extra fabric at both sides. So now we're going to grab our rib knit piece, and you want to taper it just like you tapered the side seams of the sweater. So you want to start at the pinned edge that we pinned previously and sew a straight line all the way to the bottom. Do the same thing for the other side of the rib knit as well. And after sewing it down, you also want to trim away all the excess fabric just like we did for the sweater. And this is what your piece would look like at the end. So this piece is going at the bottom of the sweater, and make sure you rib knit right sides to right sides facing the fabric. So I'm just going to put that under the sewing machine, and you want to sew that at the seam allowance that we previously marked out. So mine is about a ½ inch, and whatever your seam allowance is. And at this point, you're pretty much done, and it should look something like that.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it inspired you to actually go into your closet, pick that one sweater, and transform it into something you could actually wear all year round until it's dingy and old and you actually have to throw it away. So I really appreciate your feedback. Please do not forget to leave me a comment below, and make sure you like this video and also subscribe to my channel, and I hope to catch you sew addicts another time.